Sir, while these players perform on the ground, there's a very close watch by about 100 people who are there as experts and reporters, and millions of people throughout the world who are seeing the players perform. And all of them have an opinion. He should have left this ball, he should have played like this, his technique is not correct, it has now been, his weaknesses have been spotted. So, do the players get this kind of feedback from not the coaching team which is there, but the people like you, experts like maybe Sunil Gavaskar, who is in the commentary box, or maybe Ravi Shastri? What is the kind of dialogue that is on between this set of people?
Between who and who?
Between the players who are not able to perform and the people who are constantly every day using media, using, because I don't believe they look at the media or they look at the social media when they play. So what is the kind of dialogue that's on? Will Virat Kohli go and ask, मैं 3 बार क्यों 0 पे out हो गया, and Sunil Gavaskar advise him, your position was wrong or something like that? What happens there? Is there any dialogue that's on?
See, they do. If you see, experts give their opinion on air. So that opinion is well known. But most importantly, there are two people, Rahul Dravid and our assistant coach Vikram Rathore. Their job is only to analyze. Only to analyze. So they have a video analyst who's sitting there and locking certain images. At the end of the day, they sit and they'll show him these 6 images, how he played those deliveries, and that is what matters. Of course, on air, if Mr. Gavaskar has said something, they do take note of it. They cannot ignore. And at the end of the day's play, they have these discussions. They also follow them. But the fact is that each ball played by a batsman is locked and analyzed at the end of the day by a Dravid who will tell them to log these 10 deliveries. This is how it should have happened. So they will sit with him. That's his job. And I think which better person than, who would be better than Dravid to guide the batsman if he's not playing well? I mean, he is one of the most technically accomplished batsmen we have had. So they do discuss and they do also make fun of former players when they come up with such statements in news channels, if they get to know them. But their main source is their own video analyst and the coach.
Good morning, everyone, and very warm welcome for the first session today here. So today we have Mr. Vijay Lokapally with us, and he's going to share about the Virat Kohli story. So all are interested to listen to Virat Kohli? Okay. So I'll introduce first our moderator for today. He is Mr. Ashish Chabria, and he is a chartered accountant by profession. He practices in the area of audit, assurance, business advisory, and project finance. He also works with entrepreneurs, supporting them, in making their businesses grow faster. And other than that, whenever he has free time, he's a very avid reader, and therefore he's also moderating the session. And then introducing our speaker for today, Mr. Vijay Lokapally. Mr. Vijay Lokapally has written on cricket for more than 3 decades now. Kids, not your age also, I guess, now. So he is widely traveled cricket scribe with the distinction of having reported extensively on the game from practically every international avenue. Working since 1986 with The Hindu, a respected national newspaper, Lokapally sir is acknowledged for his insightful views on the game. I will request Ashish to escort Mr. Vijay Lokapally to the dais, please. Can we have a huge round of applause for our speaker for today? So before we start, I will request you all to, switch off your mobile phones or keep it on silent mode, and let us begin the session. So after the session is over, you will get a chance to ask question also to our author. But till that time, please keep your patience. And we thank all our sponsoring partners for this event. Thank you so much. We can start, please. I'll make few announcements for you all, and you all can just go through. So Vidarbha Festival, in association with Maha Metro, we have started a year-long competition, or a contest you can say, which is known as Read and Write. So in Read and Write, whichever book you want to read while traveling in the metro, you can read the book, click the picture, and put it up on your social media handle, tag Mahametro and Vidarbha Festival. So the first prize will be of 10,000 rupees, and the second will be of 5,000 rupees, which is equivalent to books. This is the first contest we have. The second that we have is the bookmark contest. So you will find that there are a lot of bookmarks on the table out here. So while going out, you can pick up the bookmark. You can prepare the bookmark as you like, and you can upload it on your social media handle and tag Vidarbha Festival. The best ones will win awards. Right? So there are a lot of prizes to be given out for making good bookmarks. So you can pick up the blank bookmarks from the table out here. There is a buffet lunch arranged at Mogra. It will be charged at rupees 350. So during the lunchtime, you can get the buffet lunch, or we have a snacks counter also, wherein there are coupon of 50 rupees. So you can buy out any stuff which is of 50. And tea coffee is also there, which costs 25 rupees. Along with that, we also have our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to it, the Vidarbha Lit Festival YouTube channel. All the sessions which you are not able to attend because there are multiple sessions going on will be uploaded on the YouTube as well. So you can listen to them later on. And please subscribe to the channel. And also please subscribe to our online pages on Insta and Facebook. Right? Thank you so much for this. Yeah, we can start, I guess. Thank you.
Very good morning. Welcome to the third edition of Vidarbha Literature Fest, Nagpur. The first session here, guys, what we have here is a treasure trove of Indian cricket for more than 4 decades now. Vijay sir has been following, writing, watching cricket since last 4 decades. So, to start with, how did this start? आपकी जो 40 साल की journey थी.
Hello everyone, I'm very honored to be here in a room which has Mr. Giridhar and Raghu, two fantastic authors. They have done a beautiful book called Mid-Wicket Tales. You must read it. My dear friend Avijit Ghosh, who is at the back, he is a film critic and a sports writer. He has done a couple of wonderful books. And my dear friend Ajay Naidu, he is here, former sports editor of the Hitvad. And he's a widely traveled journalist. He has done cricket. I've done only cricket. He has done cricket, tennis, Olympics, Asian Games. So you have a very highly accomplished person in Nagpur, a local person. So, it's a long journey. I'll cut it short. My journey began when I wanted to watch a test match in Delhi, 1969. Australia was visiting, and my father said, "Paisa nahi hai." So 16 rupees was the season ticket for the test match. So I told, huh? Yeah, for 5 days. So I told my mother, I have to watch. So she told my father, you have to buy him the ticket. So she put out money from her savings, gifted me a test match ticket. She would wake up early morning, make daba for me, and I would go and watch, come back. Evening, she would wait for me with snacks and would listen to my story. And so I would relate the day's play to her. And after the third day, she said, "Ki tula evada lakshat kasa rata?" So I said, because I watched very closely. So she said, "Okay, why don't you look at a career? Why don't you write? Start writing." So I wrote. I used to write for a children's magazine. From there, my interest began. And then when Mr. Bishan Singh Bedi retired, I was not happy with what had been written in the newspaper. So I shot off 2 letters, one to Indian Express and one to Patriot. Both were published. And the biggest appreciation for me came from Mr. Bedi. So he sought me out, wrote a letter saying that you must keep up your interest. You have a future. So I still have that letter with me, given to me in 81. So that's how it started. So I would give all my credit to my eye, because probably she saw sports journalist in me.
Okay. Uh, so, in 40 years, there have been many iconic moments for Indian cricket. For example, 1983, जो आपने probably stand से देखा होगा. Then मेरे लिए तो it began in 1995 जब से मैंने क्रिकेट देखना शुरू किया. The Desert Storm for Tendulkar 143. आज भी वो आगे बढ़ के जो ग्लेन बिगरा को सिक्स मारा था, it's still very clear in the minds. Then the Indian cricket changed from 1999. Then गांगुली का एरा आया एंड फिर धोनी टुक ओवर. इसके बारे में अगर शॉर्ट में कुछ आप बोलना चाहेंगे कि जो ये आइकॉनिक मोमेंट्स थे या जो पिवटल टर्निंग इवेंट्स थे जिससे इंडियन क्रिकेट का होलिया बदल गया.
Yeah, Ajay was with me right through that journey, and you have to see Indian cricket will be either you divide it in pre-helmet, post-helmet. So you will realize that pre-helmet was something you had to watch it to believe, and that was Mr. Gavaskar
Okay.
facing all the great bowlers uh, almost flawlessly, and he was always the coach's batsman. You know, he would be the right position to face them. People, yeah, he got hit, but most big batsmen have been hit by balls, but he would come back very strongly. And to me, he is the greatest Indian batsman because he gave shape to Indian cricket. People forget, people say he didn't contribute during the 83 World Cup, but he did. If you sit with Kapil Dev, he will tell you how many times Gavaskar guided him on the field, off the field. Yeah. If you remember the first match against the West Indies, Garner was not getting, they were very close. And that's when Gavaskar told Kapil to bring in Ravi Shastri. He got him, third, fourth ball, I think he got him. So it is either pre helmet, post helmet. And now today you say pre Tendulkar, post Tendulkar. And Tendulkar has been a fantastic influence on the game, not just Indian cricket, on the game, and how he has won those battles, especially the Sharjah one was epic. The dust storm you saw,
Yes.
he did not go into the dressing room. He stood there outside watching the whole stadium, and nobody spoke to him during that time because he was so focused. He went back, won the game. At least he helped us qualify.
Qualify the finals.
And
yes.
next day, I mean the final. I remember he again produced an epic innings. So it was. Tendulkar has been a magnificent ambassador. His discipline, if you see, it's very difficult to be a Tendulkar in India. You can't even eat. So
You cannot have a normal life if
no
you.
normal life, and he would never be seen at the breakfast table because people will ogle, and he would feel very uncomfortable. You know, everybody's watching him, so he would always order breakfast in the room. So that was one privilege he didn't enjoy. But knowing Tendulkar, we have spent a lot of time together with him. Nothing can, what should I say, you can't take him away from the game. You can't. Earlier days, he used to sleepwalk. So they had to put Ali Rani in his room. He would put all the table chairs near the door to stop him from walking out of the room. But later years,
You're talking about when he was 16, 18 years old.
yeah, when Pakistan tour,
अरे बाप रे.
where his brother went with him, and a very fearless person. It is very difficult to maintain such discipline. And so the iconic moment was Sharjah, yes. 2003 Pakistan, beating Pakistan was,
The Sehwag and the
yeah, it was a
partnership.
tough game. And I think I remember I had, on my laptop, I had written two reports ready, one of India losing, one of India winning. Because of the time difference, we had to be ahead of time. So, and then gradually I changed my report. we won the game. That was one great game where Pakistan thought that they will win. They had a good score to defend. Sharjah, of course, and then Nairobi. That was Yuvraj Singh's arrival, and the way he announced his arrival with those majestic shots against McGrath.
84 not out.
Yeah, so that was one iconic moment. And of course, many victories against Pakistan when we were traveling. Those were there. But probably, I would say the best was Sharjah because the tournament was won by one man against a whole team. They were just focused on getting Tendulkar out, and they could not.
Probably those were the days where people would say कि तेंदुलकर गया तो टीम गई. You know, people used to stop watching the match. तेंदुलकर out हो गया. And I remember कि बीच में एक incident आया था कि people were traveling in train somewhere in Shimla and they stopped because Tendulkar was about to achieve his century to watch it on the station कि भैया देखना है हमको century कहते हैं. Those were the good old days. आज तो इस पे दिख जाता है. So the journey from journalism to book writing, how it all began. I believe जो आपकी पहली book थी, it was the Virendra Sehwag story, the Sultan of Multan.
Yeah, when he got that 100, this publishing house came and said, "Can you do a book on him?" And it was easy for me because I knew Sehwag very well from his younger days.
Yes.
So it wasn't a tough job. Book writing is different. Both my friends will tell you it's a very tough job,
Yes. Definitely.
and you feel sorry when people don't buy your book. Everyone gives his best, but my the thing is no book is bad. It is either good or not very good. There are very few bad books because the effort you must recognize. So in Sehwag's case, it was easy. I knew him, and I got his support. He was involved, and it did well. Now, like I told you, I'm in the process of updating it.
Yes.
Yeah, because there's so much has happened. That came out in 2004.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was. I was happy. I did a book on probably one of the most iconic players we have had. The man has changed the face of Test cricket
Yes.
with his batting. The way he bats as an opener, he began at number 6, and how he accepted every challenge that Ganguly was throwing at him, not the form opposition, because Ganguly would make a lot of demands from Sehwag, and Sachin always enjoyed his company, watching his batting from the other end, and Dravid would always be I would say ever ready because किसी भी ball में out हो जाएगा. So Dravid had to be ready with his pads on. But these three players have made a lot of difference to Indian cricket. That was one good effort for me. And then of course I did a book on cinema. I write on cinema also with my film critic, and Avijit is aware of it. It's called Houseful, where we revisited 50 classics from Indian cinema, and then of course once Virat came, if you remember when the book came out in 2016, there were stories on Virat, but there was not a very comprehensive, I would say, package which would describe Virat what he is. And I have watched him again from very young age. I've known him from very young age, and I thought it was a good idea. So Bloomsbury is a very prestigious publishing house. So they asked me. I had about 3 months to write the book. I could manage with effort from my son, who gave me some backup, and of course knowing the man helped me. It always helps if you know the subject. And Virat is a very complicated person. What you see here, he is not the Virat he is. So there is a huge difference.
उसी पे आ रहा था. Now Virat Kohli has a very love and hate relationship with everybody. And either आप उसको बहुत ही आइकॉन मांगोगे या आपको उसको गिनोगे नहीं. But it was very difficult to accept Virat initially when I was also watching मेरे लिए भी, because उसके पहले हमने जो भी cricketers देखे थे, Sachin Tendulkar, Anil Kumble, Rahul Dravid, everybody was very calm, composed. Image ही बहुत अलग थी. And when Vinaj burst onto the scene, his image was very different. एंड स्पेशली द एग्रेसिवनेस ऑन द फील्ड, वो अपने इंडियन क्रिकेट में उसके पहले बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं देखी थी. गांगुली में झलक थी बट बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं थी. सो उसके इनिशियल दिन के बारे में उसने जो बताया वो कैसे थे उनके व्हेन ही बर्स्ट ऑन द क्रिकेट सीन.
Well, he was a very, very enthusiastic kid. I've written in the book also that he always wanted to be involved. He wanted to be in the thick of action. उसको अपने ग्रुप में खेलना अच्छा नहीं लगता था. He wanted to play with the
एक level
senior
ऊपर.
group. So
Yes.
because he thought always that he belonged to the senior group and junior में उसको competition नहीं मिल रहा था. And he also knew that if he did well in the senior group, he would come into recognition. And his coach used to have a problem, keeping him. His coach was worried because उसको चोट लग जाएगा ऊपर. And once he was hit also in the chest, and his mother came complaining कि आप मेरे बच्चे को उधर मत खिलाइए because so. But he won't listen. And then he started winning matches in the senior group. So that was the Virat, which was not known outside, a fierce competitor, somebody who was, like I said, suppose there was a situation where they had to win, make 80 to win, और ये मिडिल ऑर्डर खेलता था, तो ही वुड टेल द कोच मेरे को ओपन करना है. सो ही वुड से नहीं, यू आर इन द मिडिल ऑर्डर. ही से नहीं, पर मेरी बैटिंग नहीं आएगी फिर. ओपनर्स वुड मेक दोज रन्स, सो व्हाट वुड आई डू? So he was, coach had to guard him, and his coach was his, what should I say, mentor or father figure. Because,
Rajkumar Sharma ji, yes.
Once Virat lost his father, Rajkumar has taken care of him, guided him in cricket matters and non-cricket matters. So Virat always was. And if you see his scores he was very consistent in junior cricket, very, very consistent. And he knew that he had to, it's a West Delhi thing. You strive for space in West Delhi. Or that is what he is. So he had marked his place in the team and he was going to hold on to it. And if you see, at no point there has been talk of Virat Kohli would be dropped. He has never faced a situation where you would drop him.
The Virat Kohli we see on the field and the Virat Kohli we see off the field, दोनों बहुत different लगता है. तो is this something which comes to him very naturally कि उसने अपने आप को ढाला इस तरह से because he wanted to succeed that way? The aggressiveness on the field, the calm and composed, relaxed, chilling off the field.
See, on field, you get to see him only because the camera shows him. Right?
Yes.
If the camera is not always on him, he's just like any other player. But here, the broadcaster, they have tried to make the most of Virat Kohli's presence. So there is one camera always on him.
Because the Virat Kohli we know is the one who celebrates more than the bowler.
No, he celebrates as much as others. But they don't show you the bowler, who is also celebrating, the wicket keeper who is also jumping. But they show you this man. So you feel, oh, he's the only one. That's not the case. But he's very involved, very childish at times. But he loves this situation where he will create pressure and deliver. So if you see champions, they love such situations. They love the pressures because that brings out the best out of them. And the audience also gets to differentiate between a normal player and a superhuman player. So you look at Tendulkar, you look at Kapil Dev when he used to play. Kapil was amazing. The only thing उस time में social media नहीं था, IPL नहीं था, and Kapil Dev for years would have been the most highest paid cricketer in IPL, and he was amazingly talented. Same with Sachin and same with Virat. I mean, Virat loves to have such situations where he challenges himself. Right? If you see the knock against Pakistan, at Melbourne,
Yes.
how he planned it. There was pressure, and then he knew that
T20 semi-final. Yes.
T20,
Yes.
and then he knew कि ये दो बॉल में मुझे छक्का मारना है. He told himself, and he hit. One was a straight one, an incredible shot, and the next was a flick of Harris.
Oh, so
So
yes.
yeah, so he knew he had to hit two sixes of those balls. He did it, and then of course you know how we won the match. So he loves such a situation, and like I say, it is sometimes put on. What you see, the aggression is he's trying to cheer himself up, and the bowler, and you see how he interacts with the crowd also at times, egging them on to cheer the team, and he stands up for opponents also. I remember how he had stood up for Steve Smith in Australia, how he wants Test cricket to come up, how he has. I mean, he's been a very popular face all over the world. Bowlers don't like him, but they have now come to realize that yes, he is a big influence on the game. You cannot do without Virat Kohli, and you just see the he's missing two matches for whatever reasons, but when he comes back, he will announce with a bang.
Uh, यूजुअली व्हाट वी सी इन अगर किसी का भी करियर जब 15-20 साल 15 साल चलता है तो देर आर गुड चैप्टर्स देर आर बैड चैप्टर्स सो यूजुअली लोग पीपल ट्राई कि भैया मैं जो भी मेरे बुरे चैप्टर्स थे या बुरा समय था उसके बारे में मैं कुछ नहीं बोलूँगा या लिखूँगा बट आपकी बुक में मैंने देखा जो विराट कोहली का 2014 का इंग्लैंड टूर था जो पूरे मैचेस में उसने 5 मैचों में मिला के 136 रन ही शायद बनाए एंड व्हेन अनिल कुंबले रिजाइंड एज द कोच ऑफ इंडियन क्रिकेट ये दो चैप्टर्स पे भी आपने डिटेल में लिखा है कि क्या हुआ था उसके बारे में अगर कुछ उस वक्त यानी 2014 के टूर पे हाउ विराट वेंट थ्रू व्हाट वाज हिज प्रोसेस उसने क्या सोच के ही केम बैक
You were there in 2014, है ना? So he was struggling with the outgoing ball. It was a technical flaw, which commentators had pointed out that, and he was trying to, in cricketing terms, trying to reach out instead of waiting for the ball. Which in England you don't reach out; you have to wait, and so that was a minor flaw which he corrected. Later on, he made runs, but 2014, I think Anderson was also bowling at his best. He was moving the ball like a snake, and it was very tough to play him. And it so happened that all good balls were directed at
विराट कोहली
Virat. So, like in Sachin's case, they would target Sachin. So, all good deliveries he had to face. But Virat came out of it. It did shake him up, his confidence, that he didn't make runs, but he went back and he did come out of it very strongly. Again, with of course, went to National Cricket Academy, trained hard, learned to play and leave the ball because playing is important, but leaving the ball is more important.
Yes.
Which ball to leave? He was able to do that, and of course, Anil Kumble chapter was very very sad. Your friend Kumble, and how they fell out was, in fact, when they came together, it was supposed to be the best
पार्टनरशिप
partnership.
कोच एंड
Kumble, a legend, very thinking.
both had a very similar vision regarding the fielding standards for Indian
Yes,
cricket
yes. So somehow the only thing is Kumble was strict,
yes
which is right. He had to be strict, and probably some people were not comfortable, and they had got used to Ravi Shastri, who would take them along. Shastri, in his own way, also is very strict. But Kumble sadly did not get the support of
the team
Virat. Yeah, Virat essentially, but it was one sad chapter. And the only person who wrote and pointed out his differences about this was Mr. Gavaskar. He mentioned it, that a sad episode where Kumble had to fall out with Virat, because both are great thinkers. Kumble is possibly the best, in my opinion. Nobody reads the game like Kumble. but look how it ended. I mean, it didn't last long, not even a year.
But I read somewhere, even though they had a fallout as a coach and a captain, but they were constantly in touch, and even Kumble attended his wedding.
Yeah. That was it. After the episode,
Yes.
and even for my book launch, Kumble came.
Uh-huh.
He that day he finished the practice early. I had a whole lot of people on the stage for the book launch,
Yeah,
and
I guess we have a picture there.
Kumble made it a point to come.
इससे आगे वाला. Yes.
Yeah, Kumble is there. Yes. So it was, he made it a point to come so that people don't, there were already stories that they are not on good terms. But ultimately, it so happened that board had to look for a new coach because probably the team management was not cooperating.
Okay. Uh, you had a, you are probably working. No, you have already written a book on the Indian pace attack.
Yeah.
Yes. पहले के सालों में जब हम लोग देखते थे where we are going to England, Australia or South Africa, the teams used to not fear the Indian bowling attack and we used to get nice seeming pitches कि अब तो हम जीत जाएंगे. But this was for the first time when the Bovama said कि having a seeming wicket is an equal advantage to India because their attack is much better than us and probably it will be challenging for us as well to play that. So just something on the journey of Indian pace attack जो 2000 जहीर खान से जो एक जर्नी शुरू हुई एंड आज के तारीख तो जो इतना पोटेंट बॉलिंग अटैक बना पेस का उसके पीछे की कहानी क्या थी?
I think one was IPL, later years, where
2007 से.
you have to have three good seamers.
Yes.
So from there, then each state association team realized that they will have to have at least 3 to 4 good seamers. So say 20 teams we have, decent 20 teams,
In domestic cricket.
right?
Yes.
So 20 into 4, 80. So at a point, 60 to 80, we had a good pool of 60 fast bowlers, in which 5 would be outstanding, who could walk into the team anytime. Others had to be trained, groomed, kept fit. The National Cricket Academy has played a big role in this. They train the boys, they manage their workload, which is very important because injuries can be tough. A fast bowler's injury takes time to heal,
Yes.
and not like the spinners. And it also helped that the captains realized that you can win matches with your fast bowlers also. I mean, Kapil Dev was a big example. He used to do it alone. Karsan Ghavri, Kapil Dev, Madan Lal, they had their own limitations. But then came Srinath, Prasad. They brought about a big change. Srinath would bounce you out. He would bowl vicious bouncers. And I remember that 96 tour, one spell to Atherton. Atherton was hopping for unplayable, 2 overs. He just know how he survived. And Srinath gave him hell on the pitch. So that was a good sight to see an Indian fast bowler making life miserable for a white batsman because they used to take great pride and bounce at our tailenders.
Yes.
Yeah, and so things changed with Srinath and Prasad essentially. And then, of course, like I said, the BCCI also decided that they have to look for a pool of fast bowlers. And now we have at least 30 fast bowlers who can play international cricket at any time. So it's a process which has taken time. It's not an overnight development, but you have to give credit to BCCI and also to the National Cricket Academy where they had this program. MRF Pace Academy has played a big role in
Chennai.
keeping the supply going for fast bowlers. So it is good to see today that when you go abroad, you're not really worried about what kind of pitch you are getting because if they give you a green track, you have bowlers.
Bowlers, yeah, bowlers. IPL has not just changed the domestic cricket, but it's also changed the way, like, probably आज के तारीख में I can think we can have 3 simultaneous Indian teams playing anywhere in the world if you want. आपकी bench strength इतनी बड़ी हो चुकी है कि आप 3 इंडिया की टीम्स बना के खेल सकते हैं. उस पे अगर कुछ बोलना चाहेंगे.
But I think IPL is producing one-dimensional players. That is the sad part. You're not getting players who will stay at the pitch. We were talking this morning. Uh, we don't have batsmen who want to spend time, grind the bowling.
Test cricket के बारे में.
Yeah,
Yes.
so Test cricket will require you to come and bat patiently. Which, if you see today, you look at the batsmen who have come, the new lot. They all like to play their shots.
T20 and ODI.
They are driven by, their game has been driven by demands of IPL, where you cannot, a dot ball is a punishment from the coach. In good old days, if you played a bad shot if you played a shot in the air, he would call you out from the nets. Today, he is encouraging you to play aerial shots. So that is, I think it will take time, but we still have someone like KL Rahul, who can bat patiently, and he's doing very well. You have Shreyas Iyer also is there, he's a good bat, who can bat like a test player. But again, they're all driven by the demands of T20. And also the coaches want you to maintain a certain strike rate, maintain a certain scoring rate for,
Baseball. Yes.
Yeah.
जो भी इंग्लैंड का चल रहा है baseball.
Yes, but only they can play that. we are. It is the. I mean, the game has changed. The game has changed a lot. We will have to accept that, because I think the young generation wants IPL. So you will have to give them IPL. You can't say no. You sit and watch Test cricket. People will not come. People, they don't have time. They want results. So it's probably need of times.
But Virat had immense love and respect for Test cricket, right? He wanted to succeed in Test cricket very badly. And one of the top, and he wants कि मेरे को ये करना ही है.
In fact, you have to give him credit for that. He is the one responsible for seeing that there is interest for Test cricket. There are regular Test series happening. World Test Championship, he is very focused, and he has been a good Test player. Everyone talks of his T20 knocks or ODI knocks, but if you look at his Test matches, he has been a very good Test match batsman.
Okay.
IPL कचरा साफ करता है. I'm voting Dhoni here. I don't know whether I should be saying that here. जिसको basically खेलना है, go and play IPL, live a luxurious life. But those who want to play Test cricket, उनका discipline, passion, commitment will be totally different.
Yeah, he's a good friend of Dhoni, so he's quoting him correctly what Dhoni feels.
Yes. विराट का एक very important chapter of the phase was 2012 के आसपास, where he was not playing very good cricket, and then he realized something, and then he changed his fitness routine and his diet completely. उस phase के बारे में कुछ बताएंगे?
That was forced on him by the team management. He also realized
अच्छा.
that he had to do it. You can't be eating chole bhature and samosa all the time, and he had to give up. There is this famous shop in West Delhi. He's making millions, saying Virat used to come and eat here. So he doesn't tell you that Virat has not been there for 10 years. So it is.
So he has to give up his butter chicken now.
Yeah, yeah. So he's very. It's a big sacrifice. Where he was like a West Delhi Punjabi, very fond of all this stuff. He had to give up, and his diet is now controlled by the team nutritionist. They have a very qualified person looking after it, and there is a diet chart for everyone. And the nutritionist will tell you that he's the only one who has never given him any complaint. And he has never indulged. So he also realizes that fitness and diet will take him forward. So he has stuck to it.
Sorry. We have been told it's time up. Now the floor will be open for the audience.
It's okay. I'm sure. Hello, sir. I'm Supant. What explains Virat's dismal track record as captain in the IPL? RCB.
Bad record. Bad record.
Yeah, that's captaincy record.
See, he's if you see he has to he will go by the team which he has. There have been times when he has not had the team, and there have been couple of times, two finals I think they have played two finals and they had an upper hand, but he alone was not responsible. He did score runs. De Villiers was there. If these two cannot win you a title, then I don't know who can win you an IPL title. But yes, that is one thing which has been at the back of his mind, and it does come up time and again. They say he has not had an ICC title, but I think the World Cup was everyone was expecting. He did win it in 2011. That was a gift to Tendulkar, but he alone can't be blamed for not getting an IPL title because there has been something about RCB. They lack the bowling at the crucial time, and then of course these two players they had to score big in the finals, which they failed.
Hello, sir. Hello. Uh, I want to ask. They say there is a correlation between Indian society and cinema. Do you see any relation between Indian society and cricket about changing mindset or changing patterns? Can you please analyze that? How Indian society changed and how Indian cricket changed? That is there any correlation? Can you analyze that, please?
Indian cricket has definitely changed. I don't know, society is changing. We are seeing so many changes. Young people are doing so well everywhere. I would appreciate that. But Indian cricket has become very competitive because it is open now. You know, you have players coming from very diverse background, very poor background. There were times earlier when they would not even think of playing district cricket. Now today they are playing for the Indian team. Within one season, they get to play for India. So which is very big. Earlier times, people would play five seasons and did not get a call to play for the Indian team. But today, I think it's because of the fact that information is available so comfortably. They reach out to the BCCI, the local associations, and there are these scouts who look for players for IPL. They have a knack of picking these players. So they may not pick them for IPL, but they give their names to the BCCI people for them to keep an eye on, and that is how a lot of players have come up now. So it is a big change.
Hello, sir. Sir, first of all, thank you for being part of Sports Star. I guess it is a core memory, the center page four-fold poster, which I guess every one of us have stacks of it. I wanted to ask you, you mentioned about Gavaskar's presence in 1983 World Cup, right? So a lot of analysts talk about this dressing room presence effect, right? And as we go along the time, uh, a lot of it seems to matter, but a lot of it seems to be boxing players down as well. Like we had in Gaba. So I don't think we could have won the Australian series if there were senior players present. We were losing that and then we won it with junior players. Maybe a lot of analysts say because senior players were not present or were out of the team at that time. So just wanted to get your view on it.
You can say that because they were not present, but it's not fair, very unfair. I would say it's not the right appraisal of the role played by seniors. They've got you there, and they were missing for a certain reason, and the juniors they had nothing to lose, so they took this adopted this fearless approach. Look at how Rishabh Pant batted, or Pujara batted, or Rahane for that matter. Rahane was looking for opportunities, but he got, and then how he grabbed it. He won a test match. He won a fantastic series. So I would say you won because the seniors were not there. Seniors have had their role to play at different points.
Sir, while these players perform on the ground, there's a very close watch by about 100 people who are there as experts and reporters, and millions of people throughout the world who are seeing the players perform. And all of them have an opinion. He should have left this ball, he should have played like this, his technique is not correct, it has now been, his weaknesses have been spotted. So, do the players get this kind of feedback from not the coaching team which is there, but the people like you, experts like maybe Sunil Gavaskar, who is in the commentary box, or maybe Ravi Shastri? What is the kind of dialogue that is on between this set of people?
Between who and who?
Between the players who are not able to perform and the people who are constantly every day using media, using, because I don't believe they look at the media or they look at the social media when they play. So what is the kind of dialogue that's on? Will Virat Kohli go and ask, मैं 3 बार क्यों zero पे out हो गया, and Sunil Gavaskar advise him, your position was wrong or something like that? What happens there? Is there any dialogue that's on?
See, they do. If you see, experts give their opinion on air. So that opinion is well known. But most importantly, there are two people, Rahul Dravid and our assistant coach Vikram Rathore. Their job is only to analyze. Only to analyze. So they have a video analyst who's sitting there and locking certain images. At the end of the day, they sit and they'll show him these 6 images, how he played those deliveries, and that is what matters. Of course, on air, if Mr. Gavaskar has said something, they do take note of it. They cannot ignore. And at the end of the day's play, they have these discussions. They also follow them. But the fact is that each ball played by a batsman is locked and analyzed at the end of the day by a Dravid who will tell them to log these 10 deliveries. This is how it should have happened. So they will sit with him. That's his job. And I think which better person than, who would be better than Dravid to guide the batsman if he's not playing well? I mean, he is one of the most technically accomplished batsmen we have had. So they do discuss, and they do also make fun of former players when they come up with such statements in news channels, if they get to know them. But their main source is their own video analyst and the coach. That is Dravid.
One last question. This is the last question of the
Sir,
session, please.
sir, we as a team, India, has always last 30, 40 years. But since last few years, we are extremely well when it comes to bilateral series. But when it comes to multinational tournaments, be it ICC Champions Trophy, be it a World Cup, we don't play that well, which we should have. Like 2014 was the last Champions Trophy that we won under leadership of Dhoni. And once Dhoni and Tendulkar are out of the scene, we are playing well, but we are not winning major tournaments. We reach semi-finals, we reach finals, but then we falter at the wrong time. So what needs to be changed?
What do you think?
You are better judge, sir.
No, see, please understand, they are playing the white ball finals and they are playing red ball finals also. They've reached WTC, we reached and played bad cricket in one session. We lost to New Zealand. And here, again, the World Cup final, if you see, we got 3 batsmen out, made the mistake of not playing Ashwin in the final, and Travis said how he took the game away from us. So there are a lot of factors. It is just maybe a matter of time. You will end up with a big title, because India today is the most consistent team in world cricket.
Exactly.
Nobody plays as
Better than
consistent
us.
as us.
Something needs to do with the psychology. Something needs to be taught to them to handle pressure. Is that something has to do with the pressure?
No. They handle pressure. They are taught. There is a person sitting there telling them how to paddy Upton, to tell them how to handle pressure. The same person was there in 2011 when you won the World Cup, but it was not known then. Now it has become a big thing that you need a mental coach. So he's there, but ultimately it is for you to go and perform there. Coach will tell you. Venkatesh Prasad used to say, okay, this is how your arm should come. But the thing is, it was easy for Venkatesh Prasad or Kapil Dev. Somebody who's bowling in the field, he's not getting it right. So you have to understand that sometimes you're not good enough to be a champion team. So fine, as long as you're playing finals regularly, and someday you will find they'll start winning regularly. I'm sure. Evolved. Well, it's been a very tough journey for him. He evolved with constant practice, and he never compromised on hard work. So
We'll, we'll
that's all I
just
would
take
say.
one last question, and then we have a stall by crossword, so you can buy the books from the stall and get it signed by the author. The author will be here for the next 15 minutes after the session. So quick, one last question, and then we move on to the next session.
Hello. Just a quick question. I mean, is there anything special or beautiful or something that resonated with you that you didn't mention in the book, but you experienced when you were going through the process
About
about
Virat,
Virat?
not really. I think it's almost every there because this is a revised version, third, and I've worked very hard on different aspects of his batting. I don't think I've left out anything except maybe I could have developed more about his rift with Kumble, that I could have given more space, and his failure to win IPL title, maybe. Yeah.
Okay, I guess we come to an end for this particular wonderful session. Thank you so much, sir. Yes, sir.
I need to acknowledge the presence of my bhaiya and bhabi.
Yeah,
They are
sure.
here. They live in Nagpur. Prabhakar and Bala Vaini, they have been like, after my parents, they are my parents. So I owe a lot to them. And I'm very happy they are here.
I will request Dilip Kamdar sir to please come and hand over the mementos. And thank you so much. And all of you, please collect the bookmarks while going and prepare the bookmark as you like and put it up on your social media handle. Tag Vidarbha Lit Festival and Maha Metro. Thank you so much.